Welcome to 216, a Link to the Past randomizer podcast. I am your host, fearagent, recording live on stream, something I've never done before. Today on the show, we've got GFE, Gammachoo's greatest nemesis. We talk a lot about Gammachuu in our episode because he's been the bane of our existence since GFE and I started playing together in 2018. So expect some Gamma slander in this episode. It's a fun one. I'm excited for everyone to hear it. Apologies to everyone. GFE and I recorded this like months ago, and I've been way too lazy in editing all these. This actually was recorded right before the main tournament started, and the main tournament is now over. So huge apologies to GFE. It's not that I didn't want people to hear this episode. I'm super lazy when it comes to editing these podcasts right now. So apologies, but it's a great episode, and I love talking to GFE. It took a long time to get GFE on the show because GFE is kind of a mild-mannered dude. He's very Clark Kent, doesn't like to talk about himself or have attention shined on him. But I'm a big fan of GFE, and I twisted the knife enough in him to finally have him come on the show, and we had fun. It was a really, really fun conversation, so I'm excited for you to hear that. That's coming up soon. Speaking of Gammachuu, dude just keeps winning. I mean, won the main tournament. He beat Skelly 2-0, and yeah, back-to-back champ. I don't know how many people have done that. I think Ajneb was maybe the first back-to-back champ. This is like 2017, 2018 maybe. I think Andy might have gone back-to-back or has won maybe two. But there's not many people that have won back-to-back tournaments. I'm recording this live for the first time. This is weird to do this on stream. Clearmouse in chat has the actual winners. Gammachuu won in 2025 and 2024. Impressive. GGW was the previous winner before that, 2023. Obscure in 2022. Dante in 2021. Jet 19, Andy in 18, Ajneb 2017. Yeah, so Gammachuu, I guess, has just secured his legacy as maybe the greatest. No, I can't give that to him. There's too many people that worship at the feet of Gammachuu. I can't be one of them. Sorry. No, but seriously, it's super impressive that he won another tournament. He went 2-0 Telethar. That's super tough to do. He went 2-1 against Structural Mike, and the one loss, I think he just gave up because he didn't know how to play a mode in the main tournament. the 80 tile swap, he didn't know about something to do with the mountain and stuff, and he like forfeited like 30 minutes into the race. Tells you about that mode, I think, more than it does about Gamma. He 2-0'd Tedo, 2-0'd Tenant, and 2-0'd AK Drizzt. So the only loss he had was when he just couldn't figure out how to play the mode. Skelly is super impressive as well. He beat Jammo 2-1 in the semifinals in a match that we called, which really, really close. Skelly was actually behind Jammo, but found a second sword in GT and had tempered going into Ganon and silvers. He got a sword and silvers and was able to overtake Jammo, who had just the Master Sword, no silvers, and beat him into Ganon. It just took Jammo too long to beat Ganon, having to do all those spins, and Skelly won that race. It was insane. Should check that one out on Speed Gaming. But Skelly 2-1 against Jammo, 2-0'd Flip Hill, 2-0 GFE, today's guest, beat Dr. Bowser 2-0, and beat BSJ 2-0. So real impressive run by Skelly, and second place is nothing to sneeze at. All right, speaking of League Season 8 is coming back. We are starting a new season of League, and 3 Off the Tee is coming back. It's me, Jammo, and Homemade Beer. Going to try to run it back and not get our season upset by GFE, today's guest, like it was last season. So I've given a lot of shit to tournament admins, especially like the main tournament and the League admins. The two big tournaments I kind of hold them in a higher regard. It's the two big tournaments. That Cross Keys is the third one, but Cross Keys is a little bit easier. It's just one mode. The main tournament and the League have to pick modes for their tournaments, and there's a lot that goes into all of it. And I feel like those two tournaments especially have kind of gotten away from serving the runners in a lot of their modes, and I've given them a lot of shit. Season 8, I feel like, is a return to form. I don't love every single mode, and it's not the point. I don't think I need to love every single mode, but I think they got it all right. I think they got all the modes right. So Season 1 is Co-op AD, classic good to go. Just regular old co-op AD. There's no extra anything. Week 2, we've got Stanverted Keys, which is standard inverted 2.0, defeat Ganon key sanity. That's basically inverted keys, just a new version of it. I'm actually 100% okay with that one too. Like I do think inverted has a spot in League. I think it's great. Good job. Week 3 is 4-7. Oh, that's new. 4-7 spoiler key sanity, pilot spoiler key sanity. So pilot spoiler's back. I mean, it's like it was invented in the League. It feels natural for it to be a part of the League. Is 4-7 new? Okay, so 4-7 is the new wrinkle to it. I'm going to trust that people that have been playing pilot spoiler know that 4-7 is just as interesting for this race than 7-7. Okay, so Clearmouse is saying that it's cool because you have to think about going to GT and the mountain instead of always just climb at the end. Perfect, great. Chef's kiss. A spoiler pilot key sanity, great. So far, we're 3 for 3. Week 4, Kabuki key drop. So Kabuki is standard, start, assured sword, starting boots, 80. So that's like Kabuki. They've added key drop, and because it's AD, the blue balls and the Ganon warps are removed. Great. I'm not going to play this mode, but I think this is like Kabuki is a mode that a lot of people play and I think enjoy, especially if you enjoy all dungeons. And great. So we're 4 for 4. Week 5, co-op cross keys, 5 for 5. They brought back mystery for week 6. I don't know what any of it means. MMMM, not slow. No idea. I'm not going to learn. I'm not playing mystery. It's just not for me, but I think it's a good addition to the League. I don't know if it's called not slow or MMMM not slow. I don't care. Whatever. I think mystery's fun, and I think a lot of people love mystery, so I think it's a great addition to bring it back to the League. And then week 7 is co-op logical randomizer boots. Again, classic, League classic. It would be interesting. I can't remember. Maybe it was Telethar was talking to me about randomizer and saying like it'd be interesting if we did randomizer without boss shuffle. I think that could be interesting. But randomizer, again, this is just classic. This is standard. I think since we've had since from the beginning. So I want to commend the admins for giving us a great 7 weeks of modes. You don't have to love all of them, and that's great because for League, as opposed to some of the other tournaments, is you don't have to play all of them. That's why you have teammates to play the weeks that you don't want to play. Like, if I had to, I would play Kabuki Key Drop. I would just have to spend some time learning Key Drop Shuffle a little bit more. I'm not playing Ministry, and I think my team's going to have to be okay with that. But I'll play any of the other weeks for sure, and I think that's cool. So I give a lot of shit to admins when they get it wrong, and I'm going to give a lot of praise when they get it right, and I think they got it right. I think this is about as good as it can get for 7 weeks of League. Hopefully, we can get a lot more teams back. I know in the past we've lost people because of the modes, and I just think they did a great job. So good job there. Everything else is, I think, for the most part the same. You got the tiebreakers. And then in the playoffs, I think that's the same as last year. Best of 3. It's all co-op. I love that. And then the mode choices are the 4 co-op modes. Registration is Sunday, February 1st and ends the 15th of February. March 9th is the first week of the season. And then we do weekly. It looks like we don't skip any weeks because I don't think there's anything going on in March and April. And then you got the playoffs after that. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very excited for League to be coming back. Excited to play with my team. Love playing with Jammo and Beer, and start getting your practice in. All right, long introduction. Excited for you to hear this episode. So let's get to it. Here is my conversation with GFE. I think the thing I'm most excited about having you on the show after all these years, because we've had everyone else in our friend group on the show, P-Train, and well, that's not true. Like Julo and Lynn, I don't think I've done the show. But the thing I'm most excited to talk to you about is I don't know if there's anyone in the community that's had to race against Gammachuu as much as I have, as much as you and I have, and had to like deal with all of his luck. You know what I mean? Like you and I have raced Gamma exactly a lot. We've raced them because we've been racing this game for 6 years, 7 years, or something like that. Since 2018.
Yeah. 2018 spring.
And you know, we raced Gamma a lot, especially early on. And man, you and I feel like we're some of the most unlucky people, especially when it came to racing against that dude.
I can feel that 100%.
Yeah, I feel like there's no one that can feel or understand my pain quite like GFE.
Oh, that's fair, man. I was pulling up my old Speedruns Live stuff just to like look over it before this, and my last 2 races on it were against you and against Gamma. So
did you beat me? I imagine you beat me. I feel like you beat me more often than not.
Both of them were cross keys, and
Okay.
the last one I had was like June 3rd, 2020, and I beat you. And then the one before that was cross keys against Gamma, and I actually won that one. So
nice. That's cool.
At least there's positive.
Yeah, I feel like we've raced a lot in the past. I remember there was a tournament we did where you and I were in the finals. What was that tournament where it was like super fast mode? Like
my only title in all the years I've been playing this, that was light speed.
Light speed, that's what it was.
Yes, I believe like you had to clear the light world, pull the master sword, and then beat Aga 1, and Triforce was like on the pyramid or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember playing that mode. Not really, I don't know if I liked it all that much, but it was a mode where, because there's so few things to collect, like I don't think you needed Dark World access even. I can't remember. But there were so few things that you actually needed to complete the seed that I'd skip so much stuff, and it worked out like more often than not until I came up against you.
Yeah, you had to take so many gambles in that mode. Like, I'm not going to bother going south to check race game today. Like, I'm sure it's nothing, and then you end up last locating it, and it could be you and your opponent both, just because you have to take those gambles in that mode. And as you kind of prefaced there when we were talking about Gamma, like I've often felt like one of the more unlucky people in the community generally. But in that particular tournament, I don't know, things just worked out. I think in the whole tourney, like every match was best of 3, because each race was like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And so I think in the whole thing, I lost 2 games, one to Shady Force and one to you. But I never lost a match. So like I don't know, it just worked out. That was meant to be. So I can't claim I'm never lucky, I suppose.
Sure. But it was just had to be in this specific mode. I think you're like me, right? We're not good skippers. I feel like that's the one thing that's kind of held us back is whenever we skip, we tend to get punished for it. Whereas like we're playing against people like Gammachuu or GGW or Shireen or any one of those guys who like will make a skip and it works out most of the time. But the one time that you and I skip stuff, it's like that's where our progression was. And so it's just so consistent that it almost feels like a joke.
It does. Like, I guess once I started to get good, I'm not the best at this game by any means. But once I started to consider myself, I'm pretty decent. I can take on the top runners. Everybody was like, to get better, you have to make skips. You have to make these gambles. And that kind of goes against my general way I play games. I'm very much a completionist.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away from it. But I was like, I got to try this out, I suppose. And I think one of the first things I ever tried to skip was the whole, like, in Eastern, if you've got 2 items already, you just rush the boss, skip the big key chest if you can. And I want to say the first, like 2 of the first 3 races I ever tried to do that, I got punished as hard as possible. I forget what it was. One had the ice rod in Eastern big key chest. The other had the mitts or something dumb. And like I hard last located there. And so I was like, okay, forget it. I can't skip. I can't skip.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work.
That's the problem, is it like when it happens to, again, like GGW made a career out of it, winning tournaments and stuff, but it just didn't happen at the frequency that it happened with you and I, where it was like, I'll skip this one time. It's even like an educated skip. Like I've only got like one thing and there's no reason to go for this one spot, but of course that's where it is. And I don't know, just so consistent. And I don't know. I was excited to talk to you about it because of, we're like the 2 sides of the same coin, man. I feel like it's always happening to us. And I think it's just because we've had so much experience playing together.
Yeah, for sure. Or similar to that, which this isn't exactly calculated skipping, but when you're playing, and for the longest time, I did not use a map tracker. I didn't auto track. And, every now and then you're going to forget about a location.
Yeah.
It just happens. And I felt like when I forget something, when I forget a location, it's going to be an important location. It's going to be where progression is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end up last locating it. And I felt like that happened a lot. And you can say, it's just because that's when you lose. So you notice it. But because there's probably plenty of games I played where I forgot about a location. It just didn't matter. So you focus on those.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely feels like it hit us hard compared to other people.
Yeah.
Definitely compared to Gamma.
Definitely. I mean, that's the problem.
Mr. Gammachuu.
Yeah. The problem is our control, being Gammachuu, was just so extreme. Like, it never punished him. So that was always really frustrating.
I think my happiest moment was when I gave Gamma a seed. He kind of stopped agreeing to play seeds I suggested after this one. Sure. But it was a horrible cross key seed. I forgot what it was. Something ended up forcing you to climb GT before having hook and all sorts of nonsense. And so I remember he climbed GT without hook and he Moldarm bounced because I think Ganon was at the pyramid. And in the end, Quake was required to get into Mire Main for your last dungeon. And Quake was in validation chest.
Oh, jeez.
And so he absolutely hard last located that. And I enjoyed that so much. just to see him get punished for once.
Yeah. That's so funny. Did you grow up playing Link to the Past?
I'd say the SNES was like the thing I spent the most time on growing up. The NES was my first console. I kind of stole it from my sister.
Nice.
I think she got it as a Christmas present, and I was like 4 or 5 years old. And when I saw her open it, I jumped on it and said, "Yes, thank you. This is mine." And ended up she never was really a gamer, so it did end up being mine in the end. But no, I'd say SNES, Super Mario World. Definitely Link to the Past were kind of the things I spent a lot of time on. In fact, I know earlier when I joined the community toward the beginning, everybody was like, what is GFE? And I just had to explain, it's literally nothing. I guess I did not know how the naming screen worked when I was a kid, and I just kind of pushed some buttons. And, if you take GFE backwards, it's just EFG, like the alphabet. So I apparently just clicked 3 letters in an order, accidentally hit start. And that was my first file name on Link to the Past. And it was the first one I ever beat the game on. So literally, this is from the first file I ever beat Link to the Past on. It's just
That's crazy.
A random array of letters. And it kind of stuck around. It's taken on a few different meanings throughout the years. In college, I had a few friends who did D&D, and so I gave it some dumb name to go along with it for whatever character I had then. I can't even remember a lot of that. And then I think my favorite one that the community came up with was from who gave me that one? Maybe was it Frostbite? I can't remember. Somebody came up with George Foreman Einstein.
I thought you came up with that. That was someone else?
No.
Okay.
It was somebody in Discord one day posted that, and I was like, I'll take that one. Made some good league memes out of that.
Yeah.
And just, it was good. But no, I did. This is where my name's from. So yeah, definitely enjoyed Link to the Past.
That's crazy. I've known you all these years, and I didn't know that's the origin of the GFE name. I figured it was some sort of abbreviation for something. I knew the George Foreman thing wasn't where it came from, but yeah, it's funny that you just randomly put those letters in, and then it stuck all these years later. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you played the NES, but not as much. I mean, you're 4, so you probably don't have as much memory of the games you were playing on the NES, right? Or
honestly, the biggest memory of any games I played on the NES were probably Super Mario Brothers 3.
Okay,
because that was just one
of the greatest games.
One. Yeah, for sure. And my other greatest memory of the NES when I was a kid was playing the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Which that game is the hardest.
Brutal.
To a kid, the hardest game ever.
It's
I
hard
still
as
remember
an adult.
this day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure as a kid, I never got past the swimming section of the dam.
Oh, really?
That's where my game ended. And so I never could. I always died to that stinking electric seaweed.
That's so funny.
Restarted the game from the beginning.
I remember I'd make it to the Technodrome, but I'd have like one turtle left with like 2 points of health, and I would just like immediately die all the time. So like I never really even made it far in the Technodrome because it was already super difficult, and it would take like everything I had to get there. That game was brutal.
Yeah, kids are so spoiled today. Like the original, like the older games, they're not forgiving.
No, I mean the Legend of Zelda is unforgiving.
I mean, you don't even know where to go in that, right?
Yeah, you literally just walk around. So when the Super Nintendo came out, did you get that for Christmas too, or was that something you saved up for?
I figure it likely was Christmas or birthday.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I ended up getting most of those. But I wasn't an only child, but I was the youngest by like 12 years in my family.
Okay.
So it's kind of like almost like once I was in elementary school, my sister was already graduated and out of the house. So I was a little spoiled. I won't deny that. But yeah, kind of got every Nintendo system as it came out through the years. And I've just been a Nintendo nerd always.
So with the Super Nintendo, it was Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, that kind of thing? Or was there any obscure titles?
I never actually had Metroid.
Okay.
Let me think back through my gaming. I had F-Zero. I didn't play that a lot. Of course, one of the last games to come out on the SNES, Super Mario RPG, was a huge one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that. I mean, like, I play randomizer as Gino just because to me, like, that's the greatest Final Fantasy ever right there.
Sure. Did you play the remake, the remake that came out recently?
I did. I'm most games, like, they remake them nowadays, like they just remake all the old games, and in a way I don't like that because I want new stuff. But that's one that I loved it so much that I did purchase that, and they put enough like extra stuff into that game, which it was a lot easier than the original.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's modern, so they have a handhold for everyone. These kids, it's too easy we can't make it too difficult. So no, I picked it up, but I haven't really played it yet. I definitely need to, because I remember it was a game that I didn't play a lot as a kid, but I definitely enjoyed it. I need to get. I
recommend it. Like, if you get through it, it's got some post game content in it that is a lot of fun. That's kind of brand new stuff, so to speak.
Okay, cool. So you're hooked on Nintendo. There was no like desire to play like the Genesis or anything else?
I had a friend that, like, when I'd go hit to his house, like, he did have a Genesis. I'd kind of watch him play. I think I'm trying to remember if this was the Sega Saturn actually, but like Sonic Mania and like some of the Sonic games, Knights. I can't remember the rest of the title of the game, but like, I just never was into it as much.
Yeah.
Honestly, my biggest memory with that friend is like once the N64 hit and Mario Party hit, like that's who I would play that with.
Okay.
And that's probably my biggest memory there was like when it was one of the mini games. I believe it was like the rafting mini game where you had to rotate the control stick as fast as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you're against the computer, it's one thing, but when you're against another human, and like both of us after that mini game ended, ran to the kitchen sink to run our hands under cool water because we literally had blisters. We never realized that Nintendo was giving out free gloves to protect you. Like, that was a literal dangerous game.
That's so funny. Those controllers, man, were rough. Like, it was cool because they were the first, 3D style with the joystick and everything. But like, man, they're brutal compared to today's controllers. Especially when you're doing the things you're talking about, like with the Mario Party, man. That would wreck you for sure.
Absolutely.
So you stuck with Nintendo. You said you got the 64. I'm guessing like GameCube, Wii. Did it continue on?
Yeah. N64, GameCube was kind of, I think That was probably the system when I first went to college, and then the Wii, I think, for too long came out after that.
Yeah.
And like, I know the big thing in like college as far as Nintendo went was Smash Brothers Melee. Like, I played the original on 64, but college was the first place I had people, like a lot of people to play against.
Yeah.
And so like I was big Smash Bros. Less so nowadays. I still enjoy playing it. But it's more just the like local multiplayer.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Online's great and all, but you can't beat like having someone there next to you.
No, because you get to talk trash to them right to their face.
Yes.
that's the whole point, right? It's not, and you know them, so it makes it even better.
My favorite games for that were probably, like I said, Melee, and then back a little earlier within 64 era with my more childhood friends was just 007.
Sure.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Like, just paintball mode and like who's picking odd job because you hate that person.
Right. Yeah, I feel like there's friendships were made and ruined with GoldenEye specifically. I feel like I got in so many fights with my friends over that game because, you know, it's like what's it called? Like when you wait for them at the spawn point, or you just keep killing them. I don't know. I just feel like I got so many dumb arguments with my friends playing that game so much. But
I think ours, like one of our things, we just put on like mines only, and you just toss proximity mines everywhere.
Sure.
Or if you're in facility and if you get the spawn point that was up in the air duct above the bathroom, you just stay there.
Yep.
Because nobody can kill you.
Yep. Man, the flood of memories is just coming back now.
Absolutely.
Good and bad.
I will say, like, while I was Nintendo, I kind of did like branch into other systems. Like once PlayStation came out, I had PlayStation 2. Didn't do as much with those two. And then Xbox, and more so the 360, I did for a while get really into like Halo, especially Halo 2. That was the other game I spent a ton of time on in like early college years. Just
right, kind of scratching that same GoldenEye itch, right?
That same multiplayer itch.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with that. I think me and some friends like doing online play. Like I forget. I was trying to remember. We had some profiles we picked where I think we were like Bob Barker, Pat Sajak, Alec Trebek, and I think for the fourth we picked Regis Philbin. So we were like game show hosts. So you just do a bunch of dumb stuff with your friends, and that's what gaming's really about. That's one thing that like this community kind of brought back with me, because in real life, like with me, I live in kind of a small town, and you just lose touch with all those old friends. You can't get together like you used to.
Yeah,
and so this kind of while I'm not face to face with people, it kind of brings back that feeling.
Sure. No, I totally get it. So was there any PC gaming or any like multiplayer, like MMO type of things, or anything that you're kind of get sucked into maybe in college or when you're older?
I never like got sucked into MMOs that much. I had a lot of friends that went World of Warcraft, and some still to this day that still on that. Wasn't as much my thing. I'd say the PC gaming I got into, I did get into Minecraft for a while, started that when it was a beta, and had a friend in college who ended up being my roommate later in my college career, and I'm still friends with today, that he had a server, and we just, you go around, build a lot of stuff. It's fun. And then the other one was, I think I bought I think it was called the Orange Box back in the day. Had
Half-Life 2?
Half-Life, Team Fortress, Portal. I think it had Portal. I can't remember. But Team Fortress 2 I played for a while with the same friend. So it was a lot of FPS stuff, I would say, or just sandbox games. Terraria. That was another PC game I'd say I got into for a while. Actually, I was cleaning out my basement this past week and found an old laptop and opened it up and found the original Minecraft back before Microsoft bought it.
Oh, nice.
And I was able to just play offline and pull up some of my old maps. So it's just cool to kind of see that little time capsule, so to speak.
Yeah, that is cool. What about speedrunning? Were you ever into speedrunning or had the idea of trying to speedrun anything?
Like I said, I've always been kind of a completionist. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, like that, I never went super fast through games because I was too busy like searching every nook and cranny. Mm-hmm. But I mean, kind of how most of us, I think, got into this was when I kind of first saw GDQ back in 2017, and just that's really where I was more introduced to the concept of speedrunning. And I believe everybody mentions the Andy and Christos match.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was like, I loved that game. It was a good game. And like, it's simple enough. I think I can figure this out. And I'd say the last half of 2017, I just kind of watched on Twitch, played around offline here and there. And a lot of how good I got just was from watching other people play. Like just watching and learning all the tricks and everything you're supposed to do. And
were there runners you were watching? Or was it like speed gaming type stuff?
I'd say mostly races, speed gaming, like whatever popped on. I can't remember any specific runners that I watched at the time. But I just was like, yeah, I think I could do this. I'd like to get into this. As far as actual speed running outside of randomizers, I'd say the closest I got was back when Mario Odyssey came out. They had the Koopa races. Like, start at one point on a map and have to go to somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And there was one point on the one on the moon that me and my college roommate were both like, I want to say we were like number 2 and 3 on the leaderboard in the whole world.
Wow.
For that particular time trial. And so we were like going back and forth. We could never figure out what the number 1 guy was doing. and then finally we stopped. I had a screenshot of it back when we were both up there in the top 5. And I was like, this is pretty cool. So that's probably the closest I've gotten.
Sure. That's awesome. I didn't know that. So, Odyssey is such a fun game. Like I'm not a speedrunner. I'm similar to you where I like to be a completionist, but I was learning some speedrun strats in Odyssey just because it's like a fun game to play. Like I just wanted to play it for fun. And because I played it so many times, I wanted to learn like some speedrun strats, and I never got like good at any of them, but it's just a great game.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Like right now, which I don't really play this as much as I kind of want to because my daughter always wants to watch me, so I kind of wait till she's around. But I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, which feels like Odyssey 2 for Donkey Kong.
Does it? I haven't played it.
It does a lot, like as far as the world building and how things work within it. But that is one game that it breaks your tendency to want to be a completionist from the beginning.
Really?
And I feel like it has to. Which I don't really consider this a spoiler, but like at the very beginning of the game, it just drops you in a hole. And I don't know how much you've watched.
I haven't watched any of it. I haven't seen any of it.
But you can pretty much destroy most of the terrain around you.
Oh.
Like you just punch through pretty much anything.
Okay.
Of course, there's like bedrock and walls that are limits to the world.
Sure.
So it does have its limits. But at the beginning, it just drops you in this hole. There's dirt, rock everywhere. And straight in front of you, just, I don't know, 100 feet away that you can see is a golden banana. That's where you're supposed to go. But no, am I going to go there? No, I'm going to literally destroy every wall, every piece of flooring to hope I can find some secret that they threw in there somewhere.
Of course.
And I want to say I spent the first 45 minutes not touching that banana, just trying to destroy everything. And finally got to the point I can't destroy everything. There's too much. I'm never going to progress this game.
Sure.
And so finally you go get the banana. And at that point you're satiated and like, okay, I'm good. I know I can't do that. I can't destroy everything. I need to I can search a little around, but I just need to play the game.
You don't have to break every single
pebble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, did you play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom? And how does that, if you did, how does your completionist mentality go with those?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I did play both of those. I want to say I had a good 200 hours into Breath of the Wild before I actually beat it.
Sure.
Just because I spent every moment searching every nook and cranny. I did go through the process of finding every single Korok seed in that game.
Nice.
I wanted to do it without looking up help because I don't really like looking things up. I want to find them myself, but I did eventually give in.
I don't know if it's possible to find all 900 Koroks without a little bit of help. Like it just seems impossible. I don't know. Maybe someone's done it, but there's like Koroks.
I remember when I looked them up, like there's a few of them that's like something totally different than every other one in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would I think to do this for this specific one? So yeah, I gave in there, but I did complete that. But yeah, like finding every bit of the map, and it's a challenge, challenge I enjoy.
Yeah, I feel the same way. There's a Korok where you have to like jump over 4 little fences on a horse.
With the horse.
Yeah. And it's like, I barely ever rode a horse anyways. Like,
you're either just going to randomly do that and be like, oh, or you're not. You're never going to do it.
Right. Yeah. I was never going to get that Korok without looking. So, okay. So as you know, we're similar age. You said you saw GDQ. Were you watching Twitch? What was your introduction to like watching other people play video games? Because it's very common for, kids, my kids, all they watch is YouTube. They don't watch really TV shows. They just watch YouTube. But for us, we didn't grow up with YouTube or Twitch or any of that stuff. So there usually has to be something that introduces you to it. What was your introduction to that?
I'm honestly trying to remember how I ran into Twitch to begin with.
Like for GDQ, did you find it live or did you find like the YouTube VODs?
I want to say I found that live. Like that's the first time I'd seen it was on Twitch, and that I want to think it was SGDQ 2017. I don't think it was the AGTQ before that. It could have been, but unless it was an old college roommate who introduced me, I think I just kind of stumbled upon it. Just looking up something to watch, bored one evening and run into it. Because like for the longest time, like my internet was trash. Like living kind of out in the middle of nowhere, you didn't have good internet speed. Sure. It was hard enough to play Minecraft with friends online once I was out of college. And so most of my like things I would watch would just be on television because I couldn't do stuff online. But once we actually got decent internet out here in the middle of nowhere, that's when I kind of started looking things up and just happened upon it. And I'm glad I did. Well, I guess I'm glad I did.
There's days where years
later, and I'm still hooked in.
Yeah. So you said you tried some seeds offline, right? Like without racing. Do you remember how those went? Like your first introduction to actually playing the randomizer?
It's hard to say. Like I want to say like when I first started like open standard seeds, it was probably running around 2.5 hours at the time. And once like I watched more and started playing, like I pared that down, started getting sub 2 pretty quick, which, people joining nowadays, like that doesn't seem like that difficult. But that was back when like you didn't have any of this lag reduction. You didn't have quick swap. Like there was so much extra time added in to every run back then.
Less tutorials too, like less resources to figure everything out.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I just kind of learned it all from watching others. Like I said, I don't know that I've watched too many tutorials. My tutorial was watching and listening to commentary that people would just explain, oh, here's what's happening here. Here's why they're doing that. And you just kind of build your own method of doing things from that.
Sure. What made you decide to race?
I think that goes back similarly to just enjoying playing with other like real people there by your side. Like they may not be there in person, but you're actually competing against someone. And I've always been very competitive. I was into a lot of sports when I was younger, and competition just runs in my blood. So
sure.
I guess that's why nowadays, like, I'm not retired from ALTTPR, but if it's not a tournament, I just don't race as much anymore. Or if my friend group is getting together, like a bingo match, like I'll do that. That's a lot of fun. I've kind of fallen off just doing ladders, like casual ladder stuff and all that.
It's funny to think, I've had a lot of conversations with people that came in like 2020 or during or post COVID, and you've been around for longer than that. And how different things were when we first started, right?
Oh, so different.
I mean, group races were common, way more common. There was no...
And a lot bigger.
And not necessarily because the community, I think, was bigger. It might have been. It was just the way that we raced. And one-on-one was like reserved just for tournaments. And there wasn't a lot of tournaments back then. So
that's true.
Everything that we did was group races, which was a different mentality of racing than one-on-one. I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you remember from those? I don't want to call them good old days, but those early days of when you first joined and you had to, get on IRC to race.
Yes. That was probably my biggest hurdle to starting racing. Like, I'd never done anything with IRC. I just had to try to look up some kind of README file telling me here's what you do, and try to follow it to the best of my ability. But no, I mean, it was a lot of fun back then. Those big group races, in one sense, they could be rewarding because you see all these people that you finish ahead of, but at the same time, you could be like, man, I just lost to 20 people.
Yeah.
I must not be good at this game.
Yeah. It was a mixed bag though, because sometimes you'd beat like a Blaine or an Airy or a Gem, and you'd feel like on top of the world. You finish like 10th or 11th place and you beat some of those bigger names. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm the king of the world. It's so silly. Right. It makes you feel so much better than, they out collected you by 20 or whatever, but you still, that didn't matter. You got the win. There's something magical about it. It was addicting. It was super addicting.
I was just pulling up my very first races back on SRL, and my fourth race was like a 10-person race, and I finished third, and the people right under me were Jim and Furame, and I was like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
My fourth actual race, and I'm beating these guys, which my comment, it still has my old comment there. It says, thanks, Ice Palace. So I'm assuming it was like Pin and Ice, and I did something stupid. Because that's kind of what you did in those big races. When you weren't one of the good runners, you just gamble. You take some crazy play, but it may not be unreasonable, but it's not what a normal person's going to do.
Yeah. And when it worked, it felt amazing.
It did. And when it didn't, that's when you ended up 24th out of 30 people.
Yeah. And then you get to the, later on in the years, you get good at the game, and now people are beating you, and you have that feeling of like, man, I'm losing.
Everybody else feels good.
I'm losing to 5 guys I've never heard of. Like, what the heck, man? This game sucks. This is terrible.
Yeah, like when your newest teammate came on the scene, and I'm like, who is this Jamo guy?
Yeah.
And I've run into him in 3 or 4 different tournaments in quarterfinals or something like that. So he's been a little bit of a thorn in my side.
Sure, there's a reason why
modern day Gamma.
That's why our co-op Krusky's team name was Jamo is the new Gamma. It's legit. So when you started playing, this is all a blur for me, so I don't know how much you're gonna remember. But did you find community right away? I know you and I started racing Gamma, P Train, Sabo, Shireen. We're all racing around the same time. Did you find community right away, or I don't know, were you kind of a lone wolf?
I forget how I kind of got connected. I want to say the real beginning of me connecting with any particular community was more related to when the league started. Somehow I got connected to you guys, because I still remember when you were kind of first throwing the concept of the league out, and I was trying to give a little input. into it. But like once you did that, and that's when I really first truly connected to P Train. It was like I messaged him, it's like, hey man, you want to form a team for this thing that I heard Fear's like putting together? And then we pulled in Zabo, and like the rest of that was history.
Did you know
but I want to say
P Train before this? Were you?
I want to say I just kind of watched him, enjoyed watching him as a runner on his stream, like his voice. He's just real chill. Love listening to P Train, and like his stream was always family friendly and clean, like I try to be as well. So I guess I was attracted to that, and so we just kind of connected there.
Mm-hmm. So there was a Discord that I want to say Shireen had back then. I think it's closed by now. Gosh, I don't remember the name of it.
I'm trying to remember the
name
of it.
Was it like Casual Rando or something? Something about being casual. And I feel like
I feel like it did eventually close. I was trying to look through my list.
Yeah, I think Shireen ended up closing that server down.
Was that before the circus?
That was before the circus. Okay. It was public. I want to say it was like Casual Rando or something along those lines. And that's where a lot of my friend group, or the friend group that we developed, was hanging out. Mostly Shireen and Gamma and P Train and Sabo and Jula might have been there too. Allison and PRD Wong. And I remember that's where I was first like pitching the idea of the league and looking for feedback. And but yeah, so you guys I think we had 16 teams that first season, and that was the beginning of Spherefinity, right? Mm-hmm. So that was you, GFE and P Train, you were together for how long? Six seasons? Yeah.
Until Sabo finally decided to lay down his boots.
I mean, Sabo was, is still a part of the community, runs as a main tournament admin, but would race less and less and less. Right. Like he literally was only racing like from season 5 on at like the league was basically, that was like his only races. I don't know, kind of tell me about that first season of the league from what you remember, and I don't know, like how the relationship started to develop, because that's where you mentioned the circus, like that's our kind of friend group with Shireen and GGW and Lynn. I think that's kind of all where it started, right? Yeah,
somewhere around that. And like I forgot what made me pull Sabo in. Back then he played a lot more. And we needed a third, and I was like, hey, like Sabo's a pretty cool guy, let's pull him in. And P Train was good with it. And so that first season, which it was new to everybody, but we were close to making playoffs in our first season, which, as you and most people know, like playoffs with our team became a very big meme. Yeah. But like I still remember, like my biggest memory from that first season was the last week. We played the Titans Mitts. And if we swept them, we were going to make playoffs. But like P Train was facing Sailor Net and ended up losing that first match. And it was such a weird thing. Like I was telling P Train before, kind of tongue in cheek, like, man, like, please don't win this game because you're going to put so much pressure on me. And then like after he lost, he was like, I was facing Dante. And so he was kind of similar. He was like, dude, you better not win this or I'm going to feel so bad. And I ended up beating Dante like pretty good in that second match. And so we were like teammates, but we're both like rooting against the other. Like, don't put pressure on me or don't make me feel bad that I just lost this match. And that's kind of how it went. We were such a chill group. Like I still, I know P Train's kind of been out of the scene, dealing with a lot of stuff IRL lately. But like easily the best friend I've made in the community. And Sabo's a good friend too. Like every season, it was more about just having fun. I mean, obviously we want to be successful, but just having fun along the way. I mean, even to just when we got, I believe it was season 5, maybe, where we changed, I'll take responsibility for this, suggested changing our name to Missing Playoffs. And like even in our little picture for our team that year, like it's a picture of the Meyer Bridge. Mm-hmm. There's the chest on the bridge, and then next to it you go down to Viddy. And I just took the league mascot, the white Link sprite, dashing toward playoffs, which is this little sign above the door says playoffs.
Yeah, that's good.
And then on the Meyer bridge in the chest was the Spherefinity logo, and off the end of the bridge was a red hole that said relegation, and that was the season we got relegated. I predicted what was going to happen.
The fact that happened when you guys changed your name is so crazy. I just can't believe that actually happened. Yeah. Okay, so before I'm going to go back to this, but before, where did the Spherefinity name come from? And did you do the logo, or was that a P-Train thing?
That is a P-Train thing. I forget. I think he suggested that. Came up with the logo himself. Everything. I feel like I had a concept, but I do not remember what it was. I didn't save it anywhere, and it kind of became his contribution there. And then toward the end, like toward the last few seasons, when we were getting relegated and stuff, he allowed me to kind of mess around with it some. Even when we added Julo the last season and changed it to Spherefinity.
Sure.
Because you can't have Julo on your team without having fun,
sure.
or you're just going to hate yourself. You have to have fun or hate yourself.
Yeah. I can't believe you guys got relegated that year. I mean, season 5, I think, was probably. I'm going to take this all back. All these seasons of the Invitational have been pretty competitive, but for a team of your caliber to go 4-10 and get relegated is just like pretty nuts.
Yeah, like it was a rough year. I won't deny it.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the year. I think it was actually the year before, which we were in danger of getting relegated in season 4 also, where in one of my matches, I died to ball and chain. It was a standard.
Yep.
I died to ball and chain.
Yep.
Then I got back down. Somehow went in Zelda's cell, opened the chest, and left. Got to the lobby and was like, where is Zelda?
Yep.
And I had to walk back down to pick up Zelda. Like, it could not start worse. I got into the sanctuary at 9.5 minutes.
Jeez.
And ended up losing that match by 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember who you raced
9.5
in that one?
I can't. I'm trying to. Might have actually been season 3. I cannot remember, but it was nothing feels worse.
Sure. That's terrible. There's a couple of races for you. I don't know why I remember your races even more than I remember mine, but I don't know if it was a league race or a tournament race. You skipped the Eastern Palace big chest because you were going to get it when you came back around.
Oh, fair.
Right?
Not the Kana Samaria.
Yes, Kana Samaria was in there. So you went to the big key chest first.
Oh, that was a cross keys seed.
Was it? That
was in the relegation year. You brought it back to my memory, man.
Yep.
That was the one that guaranteed our relegation. I was literally going, if I had opened that chest, like Turtle Rock was nearby, and I think the ice rod would have been go mode like in there or something. It was something dumb like that. And I would have literally finished that cross key seed in like sub 120.
Wow.
If I had opened that chest.
Yeah.
Instead, like, I want to say my opponent finished like 140 something or something like that. And I felt so bad.
I don't know why that one, I remember it vividly. I think there was a bunch of us.
That, weren't you?
Maybe. I remember watching it. I thought maybe we were watching it with some of our friends, but yeah.
You may have been watching, but I feel like I remember like you saying in chat or something, because I rewatch my races usually just to hear what people say. And I feel like you said after I passed that chest, I feel like you said that's gonna be go mode or something, because you just knew me. Yeah. Like we started this whole interview as you knew our experience. And I want to. That same season was the season that Sabo forgot about Back of the Well.
Oh no!
And it had his go mode flippers.
Oh,
and
man.
He never found them either.
Yeah.
Both of those happened in the same season.
Yeah, so crazy that you guys ended up getting relegated that year. So then in season 6, you had to be in the open. I remember there was talk of like, maybe they'll just invite you back because they needed teams.
That wouldn't feel right.
But yeah, I don't think that it was possible, just because that would feel like, it's not like you had to get relegated. You had to go play in the Open if you came back.
Yes.
So you guys go to the Open and you went to the, looks like, conference semifinals. Yeah. So I think that means you got your promotion back, right?
Well, we were one game short.
Okay.
Which we did come back in season 7, just because
they needed teams.
Needed a few extra teams.
Yeah.
And, especially with us. No offense to Savo. Savo's great, but like you said, the kind of last few seasons, he just didn't play much anymore.
Yeah.
So you get rusty. And so when we added Julo, I mean, that was definitely something to push us over the edge of coming back in the Invitational.
Yeah. So season 6 was your first time making the playoffs in the Open. Season 7, you're back in the Invitational. You make the playoffs. Not only do you make the playoffs, but you knocked us out. Oh, that was. I feel like the last few years, and again, I'm barely playing too, so
exactly.
I can't complain, but I feel like you just had my number whenever we played, and it was so like both of the games. I feel like were super close. I think Beer and I skipped something in the first. I think it was like Thieves Town. It was Randomizer or something like that in the game that we played, and we skipped the back of Thieves Town. Right. Last location did or something like that. Yeah. And then in the cross keys, it was literally like,
it was a close match,
a minute or less or something like that. So
looking at it here, it looks like Julo finished 9 seconds ahead of Jamo. And I can't remember if he told me or not, but like I was stressed out to the max for sure on that one. But I want to say it was like average time was probably close to 30-40 second difference.
Yeah, you beat me.
Go off is insane.
Yeah, you beat me by less than a minute. So yeah, crazy stuff. So if there's one thing that people know GFE or associate with you, it's Randomizer. Is there where does your love of Randomizer come from, and why does everyone know about it?
I mean, what I will tell, if I'm going to say something in Discord, which a lot of the things I say, I just cut up with people. Like most of the time, my best, like even in real life, if you're my best friend, I'm going to like cut up with you a lot, give you crap. I like fooling around that way. But I just enjoy like the true random aspect of it. Like that's the whole thing with Randomizer that kind of drew me to it as well. It's always different. And it's a challenge. Like every room is a puzzle that you need to quickly figure out. And that's really what draws me to it. I don't know why. I guess me just expressing how much I enjoy it and trying to get other people to play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just associated with Randomizer. I know with the whole GFE thing, there's been few people throw Randomizer as far as that E goes. But it's such a fun mode. And I've had some awful, stupid matches. I still remember one inverted match that I think it was just a casual match that I played against someone like Sinhei or I can't remember who it was, where the progression was in pod. You only had 3 hearts. There was no other hearts available. And pod was just like the path for Kiki to the door was rollers. It's just what it was. It was just rollers. And if you get hit, you don't just lose Kiki. You just die. You die. You get to walk from Link's house again.
Oh, man.
Like, I still remember my opponent forfeited. I did it like 6. I took that walk 6 or 7 times. And like, I don't even think I pause buffered. Like nowadays, I think people pause buffer it. I just kept like walking back and forth, trying to perfectly time, and ended up like it had to be like frame or like 2 frame window that you could move and like pixel perfect to get through there without getting hit. And I finally made it. And like the rest of the seed was a cakewalk. But just things like that. It's a challenge.
Sure.
I'll beat my head against the challenge till I succeed usually.
Stubborn, I guess, is what you call it.
In a way.
So you've been a part of the community for, just as long as I have, if not longer, but you've never been one to like take on a public role. I don't think you ever applied for like the whatever, the council or target admin or You never wanted to be like a tournament admin or anything like that. Is that just based on your personality, or is that, I don't know?
I've considered it. Thought about it several times. As far as I've never thought that I could invest the time to like do the job I would want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my races, like my race windows during the week, are like a 2-hour window that I can start in the evenings.
Sure.
Or on the weekend, I might squeeze in an afternoon here and there. But like back in 2020, my wife and I adopted a newborn. And so that was kind of after a couple years of the career. And so, like I've now got a 5-year-old, and like that takes a lot of my time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm also an elementary school teacher. I've taught like first grade here locally for the past 10 years. I've got 16 years in overall. And so a lot of that work comes home too.
Yeah. And my wife's a teacher. I know she's constantly
you
planning.
Have to invest so much time. And just having to put all of my IRL time into, being a father, being a teacher. I don't feel like when I'm home in the evenings and I finally sit down and get to relax, I don't want another responsibility.
Yeah.
I guess is the
no,
thing.
I get it. You want your fun time to be fun time, and there's nothing fun about being on the council or TARC admins or any of that stuff. That stuff's not fun. It's definitely like you're giving of yourself, and so
yes. I highly respect the people who choose to do that. And, some of them have just as busy lives, but they choose to do it because it's something that draws them. Mm-hmm. And I've tried to give back a little bit here and there. I haven't done it as much the past couple of years, but earlier in my career, like I would sign up for tracking.
Sure.
I've never, one reason that, it took you a long time to get me on here for an interview is I've never been one to have my voice heard, so commentating wasn't really my thing. But like I could track, that's behind the scenes. I don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. You're racing less, as you mentioned, and you're probably not as plugged in as you were in the past, but you're still plugged in. You're doing like the main tournament, right? Or
yeah.
What's your opinion on where Rando is now, especially compared to where it was when, at the height of Rando, say during 2020, 2021?
I mean, obviously, like the variety therein has spread out a lot. I feel like, the community has shrunk, at least as far as like a lot of the more well-known big name gamers, for the most part, have moved on. And that probably has led to some of the shrinking of the community. But also, when you've been at something, like a lot of the people I'm talking about from earlier, even earlier than me, that were doing this back in 2017, like even possibly earlier than that.
Yeah.
Like you just, I don't know, you eventually move on to something new. And I've been wondering for a while, like, I enjoy this. Is that ever going to happen to me? And then you may have a friend here and there who just kind of drops off, real life cuts in.
Mm-hmm.
And so you slowly fall off too, which I don't plan on being gone anytime soon as far as tournaments and things like that. I still enjoy it. Still like to cut up with people, but it has shrunk. But there's still new development here and there. I think that's another part of it is back then the development happened faster.
Sure.
Like the versions changed and that kind of slowed down as well.
Yeah.
Which probably led to it, but it's still a good community.
For sure. And I think what's keeping you in, partially because you enjoy playing the game, but is that you've made friends, right? I feel like that kind of keeps us here. Like even me doing the podcast, I feel like I planned on stopping it last year, but then I'm still like around, still talking to people. You know what I mean? Like it's because I have like actual friends around, and
you don't want to cut those ties.
Yeah, so it's it's hard to like leave fully, even though we're not racing as much, because you have genuine friendships that have come from this.
Absolutely.
So, gosh, it's already been an hour, dude. It goes by so fast. I'm sorry.
Wow.
We'll wrap this up shortly, but I kind of want to get your thoughts on the main tournament because when we're recording this, qualifiers are going on. So my questions are this. What qualifiers are you doing? Are you doing the asyncs? Are you doing live? And then thoughts on the modes, because there's always like everyone's got an opinion on modes. That's like the thing that we argue about the most the past 6 years in this community is what modes are we playing for this tournament? You know, the big tournaments, the league and the main tournament stuff. What are your thoughts on like overworld shuffle and that the inclusion there?
Yeah, that's fair. I know a lot of people have more fiery opinions about this, which, you know, I'll see things added in that I'm not a big fan of from time to time, but it's all for fun. People have different thoughts on what they want to do. So I'm always good with trying something new for the most part, with the exception of pilot spoiler. No, thank you. Or just spoiler in general. I've often said that I like my rando where I don't actually know what's coming.
Sure.
That's kind of why that's what got me into it. But anyway, that's not a thing with this year.
Yeah.
You know, you got you got the classic modes, you got the Kaz boots, you got Kabuki, which is a version of 80 keys.
Yeah.
So, you know, those are kind of the modes people are used to. Enemizer, you're never going to hear me complain about.
Right.
I'll be logical. Enemizer can be very rude from time to time. It's still a lot of fun to me. So like, I'm happy with that. Always going to be. I can understand the people who may feel different. But to me, like, even if I'm going up Aga Tower and then getting blocked by a dead rock at the top, so be it. It's probably going to happen to my opponent also.
Sure.
But the overworld shuffle, I won't lie and say that I'm okay with that. Like, I wasn't thrilled when I saw that.
Sure.
I like randomization. I do. And it's just, I've never done it before. And
right.
Dipping my toe into something new sometimes is hard. But I've run a practice seed, and you asked about which qualifiers I am doing asyncs just because the timing of the live ones is difficult for me. And I've run my qualifier for that. And in my practice, you know, you have to learn the mode. Like there were a few things that I did not realize I could do and just had to put 2 and 2 together. So I had some fun with it. I still say that my one practice and qualifier I did are the only ones I'm going to run in the tournament. Unless I end up,
you're going to veto them all the time?
Veto it every time. Like, if you're playing me, guys, you know what I'm vetoing. Yeah. There you go. But I'm not playing it. But that's just. I won't say it wasn't fun. Like, I did enjoy it. It was at least a taste of something different.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's fair.
That I could enjoy more casually, perhaps.
With your love of Enemizer, do you feel like everyone's going to veto it against you? Like you're going to never play Enemizer?
Here's the thing, and here's my little carrot I'll hold out to try to get someone to play Enemizer against me. My name is associated with Enemizer always, but it's more about the love of it than that I'm the master of it. Like, I'm not going to pretend I'm the master.
Sure.
I'm good. I'm not going to say I'm not good at it. I enjoy it a lot and usually know how to work around things, but like I've been beaten in it plenty of times. So like I won't even pretend it was my best qualifier. That's about as far as I'll say on that. But.
Yeah, that's good. All right. I've taken so much of your time, but I got to end with the question I ask everyone. And it's something that I don't really know the answer to, even though, again, I've known you for so long, is how you handle tilt. Like you and P-Train both are so chill. You guys handle, I don't know, you guys are just so even keeled in everything that, in every dealing that I've had with you guys. I've seen you a little tilted, but it's even to me, it's like super tame compared to most people. So my question is, how do you handle it? Whether it's in the middle of the seed, when you skip something, when you left the Samaria in the Eastern Big Chest and you last located, how do you handle the tilt there, and what's your approach?
I mean, mid-race, like it's more of just a facepalm moment, and like I tempted to throw my controller across the room, but I can't really afford to do that.
Sure.
But most of it, like I'll just wait till after race, and it's kind of part of having a friend group. Like my tilt comes out with just having someone to rant a little bit too. And like you said, like I'm pretty tame when it comes to that. I'll get a little fiery from time to time. But just having someone, even if they don't respond back, just to like listen to me complain a little bit, say like, why does this always happen to me? When in fact it doesn't. It just feels that way.
Yep.
But having that friend group there by your side, like that's how I handle my tilt. Like the race is over, I go rant, have them say like, dude, like, why did you even do that? And I think about it for a minute and I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't really want to hear that right now, but still. So that's it. Like if you have a good friend group to just hash it out with afterwards, that's the big thing. Like that's what's so good about the community. And there's so many different little groups here and there. And it's made my life, like in real life, is really lightened things up for me, because I've been through some difficult things throughout the years, and like especially since I joined this community, and it's just good to have people to lighten the mood from time to time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm thankful to that, and you're one of those, Fear, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, man. So glad we finally got a GFE episode. Thanks so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. I appreciate that you invited me, and also had the patience to deal with me, dude. If this was a job interview, I probably don't get the job, because I forgot about this the first time. So.
Good thing we're friends. It's a good thing we're friends.
There we go.
Huge shout outs to GFE for coming on the show. Really appreciate him taking the time. I know he was hesitant, and apologies for again how long it took me to get this episode out. But I'm really excited that he came on, and I'm a big fan of GFE. Love the dude. Just a good person in general, and hearing his story is always great. So I hope you enjoyed that. I have no other episodes planned right now. It's taken me months to edit episodes. It shouldn't take me months. It doesn't have to take me months, but I'm kind of just a little burnt out on editing stuff, and I'm without an editor now, so we'll see. I have an idea for an episode that I really want to do, but I don't want to promise anything, so we'll see. I've got movies I missed I still need to edit. I haven't started that yet, and I'm super duper behind on that one, so I got to focus on that, but then we'll see. I'd like to get some episodes out for League. Maybe we can get 3 Off the Tee on the show. I don't know. There's people that I want to talk to. There's episodes I want to make. I just got to get off my ass and edit them and record them. And I haven't been doing that. So I appreciate everyone for listening to the show. You can subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts. We're available everywhere. Join the Discord, mostly if you want to talk football. Football season's coming to an end, unfortunately. Fortunately, the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl, so there's that. I'm pretty stoked about that. Go Hawks. By the time the next episode comes out, I'm sure I will be a Super Bowl champion. I say I, as I'm a part of the team. But yeah, I have a good feeling about the Super Bowl. I'm going to crush those stupid Patriots. That's going to do it. I appreciate everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate everyone listening to the show. Can join our Discord, links in the show notes. And yeah, just thanks for listening to 16. It's been a lot of fun.